It's Mark from Top Local Lead Generation. We're here with Mr. Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, award-winning auto repair shop. How are you doing today, Bernie?
I'm good, really good.
So we're going to talk about tire repair, which honestly is pretty basic. It seems like a simple task. What insights do you have for us today?
Well, I've got a few. And first off, I mean, there are really two ways to repair a tire. There's the right way and the wrong way, which seems kind of obvious. But there's a lot of myths about tire repair. I mean, we see them frequently at our shop. People come in and go, hey, can you just plug my tire? And that is the wrong way to repair a tire. There is instances where that might be the right way, but I'll talk about that later. But generally speaking, that is the wrong way to repair a tire. Now, what a plug is, it's a simple repair. You probably don't even have to take the tire off the rim. I honestly never done one. We don't even have any plugging equipment in our shop, but it's really simple. I mean, you can do it yourself. Most flat tires occur because you get a nail or a screw in the tire, it pokes the tread. You can pull it out. You can stab a plug, which is basically a rubberized sort of stringy object. You can poke it in and trim the rubber bits off and put some air in the tire, and away you go, and the repair is done. So that's the simple plug. Cheap, easy, and it's what some people expect is the right way to repair a tire.
So that sounds like that's fixed the problem. You've removed the nail, filled the hole, tire holds there. What more should be done?
Well, what that misses is inspecting the inside of the tire, and it's a plug is never recommended by tire manufacturers for a couple of reasons. But really, when you have a flat, there's a few things you never know, whether the object that's gone in has caused further damage inside the tire, or whether the tire's been run low on air for a while. Frequently, and sadly, we have customers who they have a flat and they drive the car low on air for a while, and that's really hard on the tire sidewall. I'm going to share a couple of pictures with you, and just give me a second to get things going here. Things are moving slower than usual sometimes. Okay, here we go. So let's get the share going here. So that is a damaged tire sidewall. This is the tire with the removed from the rim. It had a nail right in the center of the tire tread, which we thought, oh great, we can, nice simple fix, pull the tire off the rim. And what we found was this big gouge in the inside of the tire. This occurs because the tire has been run low on air and the rim is actually rubbing in the wrong spot on the sidewall and cuts a groove in the sidewall. Also, this is what else we found inside. We always find this alongside. When there's a gouge, there's chunks of rubber that have been, little granules of rubber that have been worn out of the tire. Obviously, I mean, it's dangerous. If you leave this tire, you just fix it. So you put a plug in, you drive. You're driving on a time bomb. You never know when this tire is going to blow out because the sidewall has been severely compromised. And probably the worst time, the worst time it's gonna, or when it's gonna happen, is when you're going around a corner on a highway at a high speed and it's gonna blow out. So that's the time you want it to happen least. So that's one very big reason why you want to take a tire off a rim and inspect it and repair it properly. We've also had tires where the nail goes into the tire and it looks, oh, no problem, it shouldn't be badly damaged. You pull it out and the nail's kind of wobbled around and actually gouged holes in the sidewall as well. So it isn't leaking air, but it's compromised the sidewall and the safety of the tire.
So what do you do to repair a tire?
Well, proper tire repair involves, as I said, we remove the tire from the rim and then we use a plug, a patch plug or a patch. And these are basically, I'll share another photo of, let's get this going here. Okay, share. This is the best tire repair. This is a patch plug. Once you remove the nail or screw from the tire, clean out the hole, and sometimes you have to drill a tiny little bit larger hole with a special tool. Then we can insert this patch plug, which is glued into place, and it's an awesome repair. It really, you never have another problem with the tire. It patches it, prevents the air from leaking out, and plugs the hole, so prevents any moisture or anything sharp from getting back in. And for any larger holes, this is the way to go. Anything smaller, just a simple glued on patch works really well.
So if I have a damaged tire, can I just replace one tire?
Well, yes and no. It really depends on the condition of the tire. Just before I get into that, I want to share one other photo with you, and that is, you know, sometimes you can't repair a tire for one other reason, and that is because the nail or fending object is too close to the side of the tire. And we just happen to have a car that came in this week with such a problem. This picture here is of the tread of the tire. It's the red arrow is pointing towards a bunch of bubbles, and that's our we put a spray on a tire to find the leak, and that's all those bubbles are from a tiny little nail that's gotten into the tire. Unfortunately, it's actually gone around the edge of the tread towards the sidewall, and the yellow arrow is sort of pointing to the edge of the sidewall. All that greenish stuff is just a tire crayon we put to mark the hole. But the this hole is too close to the sidewall, and this tire is sadly junk. In order to repair a tire, the nail or screw or whatever that's in the tire needs to be, you know, probably an inch to the right of that yellow arrow to make it a safe repair. Once it's around the corner of the sidewall, there's too much flex and twist, and the patch or plug could come out. So in this case, and I'm just going to go back to myself here, just get the. In this case, sorry, I'm gonna. Technology is getting a little clunky for me this morning. So in terms of replacing tires, yes. So sometimes you can just replace the one tire, but it really depends on several things. What condition are the tires? On this vehicle that I just showed, it's a Ford Explorer with about 17,000 kilometers. The tires are almost new, so we can just replace one tire and it'll work fine. But if the tires are half worn, you really don't want to be putting a brand new tire on a vehicle like that. You need to keep the tread wear matched pretty close to what's on the car, and it definitely needs to be the same tread design. So depending on with anti-lock brake systems and all-wheel drive vehicles, some are all-wheel drive, some aren't, but with anti-lock brake systems, it's really critical to have the same kind of tires. Otherwise, the anti-lock brakes will be overactive and you'll actually lose your stopping power.
Anything else?
Well, just one final thought. I mean, on plugs, I mean, there is probably the one occasion where having a plug is probably a good thing is if you're having to be on an off-road trip somewhere and you're on a long gravel road and your rock, you know, pokes a hole through your tire. Having a plug kit and an air compressor is probably the only way you're going to get out of there. So that's a really it's a pre-thought out idea. You have to have equipment and tools with you, but that to me is the only time that's really worth plugging a tire. Otherwise, you know, stick to having your tire repaired properly. And when you come into a shop to have it repaired, you know, ask how are you going to repair my tire, and insist that it's done right. And that's all I have to say about flat repairs today.
Great, thanks, Bernie. Talking with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive, 15-time winners of Best Auto Repair in Vancouver as voted by their customers. You can reach them at pawlikautomotive.com or give them a call to book your appointment, 604-327-7112. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. Talk to you soon.